Hey, it's Mike Monday here, and I've been a non-technical builder since January, like many of us, and it's about time I shared some of what I'm building more publicly, because I've been doing a podcast on and off called Build Pod, link in the description, for a while, on and off, and one of the problems I've had with this building thing that so many of us are doing is that it's very easy to get sucked down a rabbit hole with just you and your machines where you feel like you're creating an enormous amount of value, you're making an enormous amount of progress, and in a sense you are, but in another sense it's utterly meaningless because nobody else is seeing it. Nobody else understands it. And one of the things that I get frustrated with is that there's this divide between what people actually are doing, what I see and hear people doing, and what is being shared. Now, there are a lot of great builders out there who have been building in public and making amazing things. But I think it's fair to say that the majority of them, not completely, but the majority of them are fairly what I would call technical. Now, technical is a weird word, but are fairly technical and who sort of came from a software background. And what I've discovered over the last 6 months is that really pretty much anything is possible as long as it's in bits, ones and zeros, as long as it's digital. For example, this is what you can see here is something that I built, which is a Thoughtnado. It's like a coaching tool where you can sort of a thinking tool, I guess, where you can, well, here it is. It's like a way of getting clear on what you might want to build. And as you can see, aside from the actual instructions here, there's a lot of animation stuff going on. And it goes through a whole process, and you can get the link in the description. It's build.mikemonday.com. And you go through an experience. And what I was trying to do with this is actually mirror in the visual experience the feeling that the exercise itself is meant to, how it feels to go through the exercise. It's like a kind of everything's scattered and fuzzy at the start, and by the end, everything's converging and bright, essentially. And you know, in doing this kind of thing, I mean, I don't read a line of code. That's what I mean by non-technical, really. I don't read a line of code. I can't read a line of code. I rely on the tools to tell me what is working, what isn't working. There are so many things that I don't understand about it, but this is what is so incredible about what is happening right now. And I mean, for me, certainly, because I'm non-technical, there's a fair amount of imposter syndrome that goes on. I'm like, am I doing it the right way? Oh, what will people think? All of that nonsense. And the thing is, I've been a coach of musicians since 2010. I've done over 12,000 hours of coaching of musicians, helping them make decisions in uncertainty, really. And this non-technical building thing, or even like really technical building, essentially we're all kind of in roughly the same place. Because in the program that I've been doing with other people who are building too, there are actually people just like me who've never built anything before. And then there are people who are software developers as well. And it's funny, they have different challenges because it's a little bit like when I started making electronic music back in 1994, I'd been lucky enough to have an amazing musical education, played all kinds of instruments, all the grades and scales and all that stuff, and went to Oxford to do a music degree. So I had a really, incredible music education. I was very lucky. And when electronic music started being made, because of the democratization of the tools, it was incredible, the music that was coming out, because it was made by these people who were obviously, you could hear it in the music, were obviously not musically trained. Now, before you go, oh, you're being a snob. No, what I mean is their music was better for it because they didn't know the rules, right? It was like, and my mum always said to me when I was like, I'd complain about practicing the piano and that, and she was like, learn the rules first and then you can break them. And I was like, what I've realized is that's not how the human mind works. Learning the rules can be a very useful prison in some senses. So I would hear this music coming out and I'd be like, what? It's not that I would never make that, I could never make that. Because it breaks so many rules, but I absolutely love it. It sounds amazing. I've never heard anything like it. And I mean, I made music for 17 years and I, over and over again, would have this, man, I want to be able to make music like that by that person over there who I can hear, in a sense, this is scare quotes now, doesn't know what they're doing. And now what I'm realizing is that as a non-technical builder, I'm now on the other side of it. My dream has come true, right? Far from being the imposter syndrome thing, I haven't learnt the theory, right? I haven't done computer science. I don't know the code. And while that does hold me back in many ways, it is a gift in others, right? Because I can make things like this. And I don't know, I mean, does it break the rules? I don't know. I don't even know what the rules are in terms of UI and UX and all of this stuff. I'm just doing whatever kind of I'm discovering along the way. And that's really the kind of building I'm doing. It's what I would call discovery-based building, which, to be fair, is challenging when you're using things like Claude Code and Codex, because they are trained upon this mass of information, words and code that has been, it's just this enormous gravity well, which it's more of a design way of building, where you have to know what it is you want before, or maybe not you have to, but you tend to know what it is you want before you start building. So, Claude Code will say, okay, so what do you want to do? Do you want, and they'll ask all these questions. And I'm like, I don't know. Why don't we just try something? And then you just, it's like you follow your nose, you follow your intuition. And again, I think one of the reasons that is kind of challenging in a sense is that it means you can end up going down multiple different rabbit holes without actually doing something. So the reason that I want to do these, they're going to be streams eventually. I haven't sorted out the YouTube connection, so at the moment this is a video. But the reason I want to do these streams, I'm going to try and make them daily. I'm not going to commit to that just yet, though, because I've done that in the past and it doesn't end up working. But anyway, I want to try and do them daily, like a vlog of my progress, where I'm sharing what I'm building. I'm sharing what the problems are. I'm sharing the frustration that I have, and I'm really showing you what I'm building and, giving you maybe some ideas, some inspiration on how, like, what is possible. I mean, I don't think that I'm sort of pushing the boundaries in every way. That's not what I mean. But it's like, if you are a developer already, and you're struggling to, you recognize that there's something, or there's a whole bunch of things that you're finding it hard to see because of what you've learned, then this is for you. If you are a a non-technical builder like me, who is sick and tired of banging your head against a Claude-shaped wall or a Codex-shaped wall or whatever other tool you use, this is for you. If you are somebody who wants, sees this thing happening and wants to get into it but doesn't quite know how, then this is for you. And as I said, I'm going to record one of these totally unscripted every day to just share as a vlog my journey of building. So if you want to check out this strange thing that I've built, it's the link's in the description or the show notes if you're listening to this. This is going to be much more of a video thing, so if you're listening to this on a podcast, maybe click the link to go to YouTube. It's at build.mikemonday.com. Go through the thing, check it out. I would recommend that you go through the whole thing. It's a whole experience. It's not, the whole of it isn't like this. It shifts and it changes. And subscribe to the channel, and I will see you very soon.